Hi everybody, this is Gingersnap. I'm Lisa Redfern. Actually, this is episode 20. Oh my gosh.
This is 20?
This is 20. Woo.
Wow.
So yeah. And I'm here with Dave Rowe in Portland. Dave Rowe is a musician and he's got all kinds of creative projects that he's doing. And I think you've got a new CD out that you want to talk about. Yes?
I do. Yeah, I should have brought one up here.
So just tell everybody about any creative projects you're doing that you're excited about.
Well, the new CD was less a creative project and more just pulling together 20 years of recording music. It's a retrospective.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, well, one of the biggest complaints that I've gotten for years at my CD table, they say, well, what CD is this song on? And I say, well, it's on that one. And they say, well, what CD is this song on? I said, well, it's on this other one.
Right.
And, so I end up sending them to 5 different CDs, and they go, can't you just have them all on one? And so I did essentially a Dave Rowe's greatest hits, even though I don't have any greatest hits. It's just for people at the CD table so that they can walk away with one CD instead of 10.
Right. Well, I think that's a nice idea.
Yeah.
How nice of you. How altruistic of you.
Yeah, and a number of people that own all of the CDs have even bought this one, which blows my mind. Because,
that's great.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Okay, well, Dave, can they go to Dave Rowe Music?
DaveRoweMusic.com.
Okay. And
they can like me on Facebook at, just search for Dave Rowe Music.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else you want to tell them that you're up to right now?
Well, I'm recording a new CD of new material.
Oh, nice.
And I'm hoping to have that out early next year, but these things never work the way I hope, so it'll probably be this time next year. These things never work the way any of us imagine that they will, do they?
So I forgot to say what Gingersnap is. Gingersnap is a conversation and a cookie with a creative Mainer. So when did you first come to Maine? I think you were born and raised here, right?
I was born in Lewiston, yeah. Yeah, and I'm actually, I think I have enough generations on both sides to be considered native. So
congratulations, there are very few of us out there who can claim that. And did you ever leave for parts of your life and come back?
Not really. I shunted off for one failed semester out of state, actually, it was a very successful semester, but I didn't like where I was, so I ended up coming back. And other than that, I've just lived here the whole time.
Wow. All right. What we got here is a real Mainer, everybody.
Yeah.
You don't even do the suck in.
Well, that's for a different thing. That's when you're on the phone.
My grandmother used to do that.
Yeah. Sometimes it goes, Sometimes it goes, It really depends on how you stuck your batteries in. So.
Right, depending on where you are. All right. Do you know your first word? And if you don't, what do you think it may have been?
I do know it. I'm probably the only person that knows their first word, but my mother was kind enough to write it down, probably because it was Mama.
Mama,
yeah. That pleased her to no end.
Of course it did. Well, my mom wrote down my first word too, and oddly, it was cookie. So, which is great.
Which is why we're eating cookies today.
Which is one of the reasons we're eating cookies. Okay, these are from Tandem Roastery and Bakery. Okay, I'm going to get the name right this time. It's Tandem Coffee Roasters and Bakery. That's what it is, Tandem Coffee and Bakery. So,
it's good stuff.
So this is, so Dave wanted a chocolate chip cookie. Look how beautiful these are. Oh, there's like sea salt on top.
Good
so he's
Lord.
we're going to eat it. We're going to eat a little bit right now. And I'm going to have a little bit of the, this is the spiced ginger or spiced ginger.
How appropriate.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it smells good.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow. And it's got a little bit of melted white chocolate on the top. Which is, wow.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
See,
this might be one of the best cookies I've ever had.
Yeah, no, agreed. This is probably the best chocolate chip cookie I have ever eaten, and I've eaten a few.
Hey, Tandem! Did you hear that? Oh my gosh. I'm going to write the owner. Send him our little video.
Send him our love.
Or her.
Goes really good with coffee.
It's actually a woman. Anyway, hey, so when you were a kid, did you have a car? A family car that you loved that if you could get back, you would?
No, they were all
horrible,
terrible cars. There was one Audi that my parents.
An Audi?
An Audi.
Nice.
That was, pretty good for the time, but I don't think I'd want it now.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a good car for the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I wanted to bring a vehicle back, it would be one of the probably 6 or 7 vehicles that I've owned.
Uh-huh.
And I had one particular gigmobile that I just loved, and I had to junk it in Maryland on a tour.
It just died on you?
It was a complicated situation. It was a minivan, but it was a standard, which I really liked.
Mm-hmm.
And it was worth about $400 or $500 at the time on a good day.
$400 or $500? How long ago was this?
Oh, this was probably 6 or 7. I'm a cheap guy when it comes to cars because they're a terrible investment. So I've always driven solid old cars, that I could pick up for cheap and drive into the ground. And so I had this one minivan and drove down to Maryland for a couple of gigs. And while we were down there, the exhaust sprung a leak. So it got really, really loud. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at the guy and I said, we can't drive home this way. This will just be terrible. And so we got to the show that night, and I was rooting around. It was at a UU church. Mm-hmm. I was rooting around in the kitchen, and I found like one of those big disposable turkey pans.
Oh, you can always find stuff at UU kitchens, just so you know.
And so I took this big turkey pan, and I cut it up, and I wrapped it around the exhaust leak, and I tied it all off with wire. And within probably 10 miles of that evening after the show, the exhaust had cooked through the turkey pan, melted right through it, and sprung hot exhaust gases onto the plastic clutch line.
Oh my gosh. So
not only is the van suddenly really loud, but it suddenly doesn't have a clutch either.
Ew.
So we arrived at the place we were staying, and I called the junkyard the next day and sold it to him for $100 and borrowed a car and drove home. And I miss that car so much.
Those vans are great.
Couldn't justify fixing it.
Right. So, Dave, what book have you found yourself recommending a lot in the last several years?
Book. I have to admit, I read a lot, but I don't read books. I have hymnals. I have music books. I've firmly moved on to the electronic book. I read Kindle books and things like that. And what I'm reading right now is a how to sing guide written by an opera singer right around the turn of the last century, which is fascinating if you are a singer.
If you're into that.
If you're into that sort of thing, it's really fascinating. But I'm not. I don't read fiction. I read a lot of nonfiction. Usually, it's stuff like that. Really dry stuff, historical stuff. I don't read sci-fi, but I'll read things about science. I'm just a really boring guy. And that's not to say I used to read a lot of fiction, but I fell out of the habit. The older I got, the less I could remember of what I read.
Yeah.
And so I've moved completely over to nonfiction. And somehow I can remember facts and figures, but I can't remember.
Well, I find it really interesting what people read, and for whatever reason, but what they get excited about, what they're curious about, what they're reading, what they recommend to other people.
Yeah.
So, okay, so moving on to music. Is there an album or a song that when you sort of need to... I'll ask two different questions. One is that if you feel sort of lost and you need to kind of come back to yourself, or if you, an album or a song that kind of has been like a leitmotif in your life or a sort of a touchstone?
Well, there are a few answers to that question.
I'll take them all.
Because I grew up with a father who was in the business as well. Schooner Fair
Right.
I very frequently, if I really need that sort of grounding, I'll go back to what I heard. The soundtrack to my childhood was his music.
Yeah.
So, I'll flip that stuff on. And it was his birthday yesterday. So I've been in that mode the last 24 hours or so.
Yeah.
But if I'm just going to listen for enjoyment, I very frequently will throw on something like Billy Joel or Dan Fogelberg, and these are both guys who, like me, were classically trained, and really they construct their songs from a purely musical standpoint first. I think really the way they're constructed, you can just sort of wrap your head around the complex musical ideas that they're putting together, and then they throw some pretty damn good lyrics on top of them.
Darn them.
I know. No. Why can't we do that?
We do. Okay, so if a movie was made about Dave Rowe's life, what genre would it be, and who would star as you, or who would you like to have star as you?
Oh, it would have to be science fiction.
Really?
Yeah, definitely science fiction. And I think that any one of the 12 or so guys that have played James Bond would do a lovely job.
Oh, you have to pick one. There's so many.
I have to pick one.
So many good ones.
Oh, gosh. Sean Connery.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
he's my favorite. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's the best. Everyone thinks this guy, what's his name? Craig something?
Yeah, I know who you mean.
I can't think.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody's saying that he's the best Bond ever, but I think
Connery's
I think it's Sean Connery.
Hands down.
I would agree. All right, so tell everybody one more time where they can get your music, where they can hear you play.
DaveRoweMusic.com. Everything's there. My calendar's reasonably up to date through the end of the year. Actually, it's everything I'm doing this year, but I have to start updating it for next year. And you can actually hear my music there. You can stream it for free, which I'm probably crazy. I know, it's nuts. That's because music's free now.
I know.
I know. We
It
have
is.
to accept. Nobody wants to pay for our music.
All right, so once again, this is Dave Rowe. I'm Lisa Redfern. You can hear more about me and my music and where I'm playing at lisaredfern.com. This has been Gingersnap number 20. You've been Gingersnap.
I have.
Check out this cookie. Oh my gosh, yeah, we're going to have a little bit more of this cookie. Look at this corner. I mean, it's got like, wait, the camera's up here. Look at that. So good. Thank you, Tandem. So, yeah, have a good day, everybody. It's like spring out there. Go take a walk. All right. This has been Gingersnap.